maybe. There are many men right now that don't think relationships...
Oh! So who takes care of you?
Whoops. Spend far too long on TikTok these days. Right then, welcome back to the channel. A little bit of an update before we get into the new content, because there is finally some new content coming. You might have seen a bit of a trailer the other week about some videos that I shot during a recent workshop. So basically it's just a little introduction into this. So you might have to let me off with a bit of rustiness as we get into it, because it's been a while since I've recorded anything for YouTube. So there's I've been through the videos that I shot that week, and they're not the best, I admit, but you know, it does get better as each video goes through. So coming up is some videos that I shot during the last workshop. You know, one each day. So some videos might be quite short, some might be a little bit longer, some might just be a record of what we did that particular day. Some will be some, you know, maybe more detailed tips about doing ICM photography. Some, you know, little bits and pieces that might help you out in your techniques. And yeah, so hopefully you enjoy them. But yes, please forgive the rustiness, but we are coming back with a little bit of vengeance. So we've got this series of videos, and I've also just this very day taken delivery of something that is in this box here. So I've got some products to review. So interspersed into these videos, there's going to be a couple of product reviews. So yeah, that's nice. Have a manufacturer get in touch with me to potentially talk about some products that they have. So I've got a bit of time to spend with these products, and they'll be forming part of a video coming soon. So yeah, right, on with the video. Again, good to have you back. Good to be back on YouTube. Well, doing recorded stuff on YouTube. Obviously, the lives are still going on. So yeah, expect a little bit more action around here in the coming weeks and months. As well, you know, the weather's quite nice now, so we can get out there. The days are a bit longer, so we've got a bit more time out there. So yes, hopefully going to be leaving the house a little bit more often. Right, waffling again, far too long, as I do. On with the video, and no more TikTok. Well, welcome back to the channel. It's been a bloody long time. I think it was about June last year since the last proper outside video, and welcome to the very first proper day of a workshop by me, or co-led by me anyway. I am here currently at Middleton Hall, our base for the next week, as we do some stuff around the coast and castles of North Northumberland, which we're basing the workshop around. We've got some attendees here. We've got some more joining tomorrow. So basically there's a day one proper, and instead of going straight out to the coast, straight out to some castles, we're basically gonna, you know, we're making work, gently getting into the whole thing, just around the estate that we're currently staying at. So we've got some lovely grounds. There's a lake down there. We've got the main hall there behind us, which we're staying part of it. There's woodland. There's loads of stuff loads of various stuff to play around with. Even some old gardens, which you'll no doubt see in a moment. Some broken down greenhouses. So that's been really, really good to have a look around this morning. Get some textures, get some details, and not necessarily ICM photography. So today, or rather now, I've basically come up here, now that the sun's come out, and it's before it gets too far around, is to make some images of the main hall building, and you know, just get the arm limbered up, because it's been a while since I made some proper ICM work, certainly on a new location. So looking forward to getting going that's what we're doing today. Onwards. Bit of a change of subject and a slightly different approach, whereas with the main hall there, big building, can handle a bigger, wider vista kind of style of shooting, so like a wider frame. So when I was photographing the hall, it was roughly about 20 mil to give us plenty of room around about it. Behind me here is this quaint little building, looks a bit Harry Potter-esque. I think they call it the Folly if you want to stay at it. I think these places are all holiday cottages divvied up. Very characterful. So, because it's different, different type of building. It's a lot smaller. It's got a different background as well. So you can probably see the background, surrounded by trees and grass and other fauna. But the background's quite dark in comparison. But the building itself, it's like a light grey, weathered sandstone. So that's going to be the highlights in the image. So we've got to shoot to kind of cope with that. So my approach for a subject like this is to do away with all the big wild movements and actually just hunker down and just get small juddery movements. And yeah, that changes the the entire kind of makeup and feel of the image, but it's getting things still picking up edges and still softening them off in a painterly kind of way, but it's more controlled movement. Well, I mean, all movement is controlled to a point, but much more restrained. And just thinking about because of the shape of the building as well, it's quite tall for its for its footprint. It's quite tall. So I'm thinking of accentuating the verticals, so just small movements like this will give me that effect, and also zooming in a lot more as well. We're a bit closer in than what we were of the hall, but it's a much smaller building, so zooming in, trying to keep as much of the sky out as possible, almost like as if you're photographing in woodland. You don't want too much sky, so zooming in, it is one of these more simple images. It's one I'll probably not go overboard with processing and layering and abstracting to the nth degree. It's probably just a nice simple little scene, minimal processing, maybe just a switch of colour, a bit of layering, just to get the best shape out of things, and just see how we go. So obviously I'll show you the end result of that. I've had a bit go with some ICM now. Something I've been wanting to get back into for a little while is just taking some ordinary representational kind of images. So there's quite a bit to photograph around the estate here. Lots of stuff for like little details. So I've broken out the 70 to 200 because I'm lazy, so I don't have to walk as far. So there's some nice scenes around. I mean, particularly down here with some, trees in this parkland area with, lazy sheep lying around, and then just here, a load of broken down trees from the storm back in November. So there's all kinds of damage up here, but there's some interesting kind of scenes in amongst it, so gonna give that a go as well. Just have a bit more wander around before kind of call it a day for the afternoon anyway. Right then, as I didn't record a proper outro, just going to expand this video just a tiny bit. One thing that did come up towards the end of the afternoon was this particular view and the potential of it. Now, I've got two things to mention here. One is don't be put off by certain things in the view. As you can see in this clip, that there is some scaffolding up against the building. That will not have any bearing on any ICM imagery. With the movement, that will disappear. So never be worried about having that kind of item within your frame or attached to the scene that you're photographing. Just move the camera in a certain way or wild enough that it will disappear, and it won't cause you then. It won't then cause you any issue. Now, the other thing I mention is something that's maybe a little bit more complicated, maybe is a little bit more advanced and easier to say rather than do. I kind of do this because I've got a lot of experience in it. I play a lot in Photoshop, and I have time to play in Photoshop. But don't be restricted by the imagery or the markings that you have actually as part of your capture. Let your imagination go a little bit, because I've turned this scene into this image. So don't be scared about doing your own thing, going a little nuts. This kind of stuff is within all of us, so do feel free to play and experiment, whether that's in the initial capture or buggering around in Photoshop later on. It's great. It's a great way, and it's a great mindset to have when making work like this, is to have almost like a childlike thought process about playing, or a sod it kind of attitude, like sod the world. I'm going to do this no matter what, because I believe in it. So be brave. So yeah, that is today's video. Thank you so much for watching. And as I didn't record a proper outro, till the next one, whenever that'll be, keep it hard. See yous.